So I always found this particular Nintendo Game Boy game to be oddly trippy. It was actually one of my favorite ones. This is Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. So this is obviously the second one, the sequel to the first Mario Land, and they are completely different from each other. They're like Mario Land 1 is basically just like a not a port but an adaptation to like Mario 64. Let me get that off my screen. It's not Mario 64, Mario the NES Mario. So it's very similar the structure. This one, the way it moves, the way things just kind of operate, has always been kind of odd. The music is kind of very campy, and what's most interesting is actually not so much the game, not so much like the level structure. It's the fact, for me, it's the controls. They're kind of trippy. They're a little slower. Like there's a lot more floaty. Like this is not sped up. This is very slow. And part of that is, I assume, like a learning curve thing. So the game was actually a little more playable. If it were fast, like let's say like even just a traditional Mario game, I don't think the level structure would be conducive to it, just because the levels tend to be very short. So like that guy, he'll hurt me. There's a little mosquito dude. It's all the whole idea is that you've been shrunk. Like on some levels, also there's like tree levels with bosses. Each one. I didn't die. How that's kind of shocking. You get the bell as your save point. It's just an interesting game structure. And again, it's completely unique because the game before it and Mario, what becomes basically Wario Land 3 after it, again, shares nothing in common really with the first two. So it's like they were like, hey, we want to make a trippy version of Mario, and then they did. And that's kind of what you end up here with Mario Land. You can be a bunny rabbit, and you can kind of fly, but the bunny can like fly and glide. There's no real like, there's no association to reality here. This is just a straight kind of trippy, what would someone who is inebriated think Mario games would be, or maybe what like your parents would describe a Mario game as in 1990, because they don't really understand it, and they made that into a game. Overall, it's like super fun to play, and I think I must have beaten this game like 100 times when I played it as a kid, because it was just playable over and over and over again. It's also a game where you can try to like speed run because it's not super difficult, and you get to do this stuff. And then at the end of each level, you get like a crane game to mess around with, or sometimes it's like this one where you kind of have the little mice chop in little sections, and then you can get, I think in this case, an extra life, or nope, I'm going to end up getting the, I just left. I left it by accident, but no big deal. So yeah, the whole system is very, very well. This is, some of the mechanics are so, like this is goo. I'm in honey right now in theory, and you just kind of swim in the honey. Just cool mechanics that they were able to get out of the original Game Boy system, which is very interesting, because you often think of the Game Boy system as kind of limited, but they were able to do some interesting stuff just with the gameplay overall.